Now, what I would love to ask if I was PBD, would you have the balls to go against Trump if he had never endorsed you in the first place?
But I want to go back with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have won your first term when he won by 34,000? I read your book the moment he came. The day your book came out, I read. I'm probably one of the first people that read your book. Would you have won governorship first time if he doesn't endorse you and put those tweets about you? Would you have won by 34,000?
Well, here's what I mean. The test of that is I won by 34,000 with his endorsement.
Okay.
4 years later, he attacked me 3 days before the election. And
Yes, but you already had the stature from the original endorsement. If he never endorsed you in the first place, he never would have had to attack you because you have never would have been a threat.
So he was at a rally in Pennsylvania. He started launching attacks against me. So not only did he not support me in my reelection,
but the
he
first
was
time,
hostile.
would you have won the first time?
Look, yes, I would.
That's an easy fucking question. That's an easy question. And again, you should already know that these types of things are going to be asked. So either you say, of course I would have won. Yes, Donald Trump did an amazing job to help me, but I won on the merits of this, that, and that. Or you say, no, I don't think so. You're right. Probably not. Nobody would even know my name had it not been for Donald Trump. That doesn't mean that now that they do know that anything has changed about who I am. They just know who it is now. Either one of those works. I'm not a politician. I'm just a fucking dude sitting around. How am I better at this than you?
Was at a rally in Pennsylvania. He started launching attacks against me. So not only did he not support me in my reelection,
but the first
he was
time,
hostile.
would you have won the first time?
Look, yes, I would have.
You think you would have won the first time?
Yeah. Even you know you don't think that.
Because here's the thing.
He says here's the thing a lot as well. So he said the thing about academic TMI, I noticed two things: circular arguments and just trying to hash data. DeSantis is like me. There's no such thing as too much data or info. So he says, goes on to say, I see info as info and I deal with the info, but communication requires the info to be packaged. And that's something I struggle with. Well, I mean, goddamn, if that's not the clearest thing Zippy has ever said, let's take how about an irony drink? While Zippy's talking about how hard it is for him to communicate, perfectly communicates a very complex thought. Shout out to Zippy. Shout out to Zippy with Suzanne co-signing. Well said, sir.
If you look at the voters who opposed me the first time versus the voters who then supported me the next time, the number one reason they flipped from against to for in 4 years was Trump. Trump was a factor in 2018. It didn't matter what I did. They were going to vote against me. That was the reason. They viewed me as that.
Fair.
And it was a blue wave across the country. I mean, remember, Republicans got wiped out across the country.
Right. So you won despite that. That affected you as well. It's just that you were in a different light because of the endorsement you got in the first place. Now, what I would love to ask if I was PBD, would you have the balls to go against Trump if he had never endorsed you in the first place? That is what I want to know. Because if you know that Daddy Trump's got your back, it's one thing. But if you're just out here and it's like, oh man, what would you have done? Now, again, we know that he's going to say, of course I would have done that. But as we are seeing, the answers, the way that he's answering these questions is telling us a lot more than what he's actually saying. Shout out to Bailey. Welcome to the party, baby. Good to see ya.
I mean, we got wiped out in the House. We lost a bunch of
There was no
governorships.
red wave is what you're talking about.
There was a blue wave.
There was a blue wave.
It was
yes.
a snapback against Trump. And that's natural for a first year in the midterm. But here's the thing. You get into office and the question is, what do you do with it? And I've done more with it than anybody who's been in a similar situation. The policy success we've had, the leadership in crisis, and then moving the political pendulum in a direction that we've done is just you cannot argue.
I don't know if I
with those
disagree with it.
results.
I don't know if I.
Okay, he saved it at the end with the political pendulum because that's a visual, that's a thing people understand. But well, we won with the policies and the this and the that and the that. Say the thing. We won with this policy. We won when they tried to do X. We did Y. No, well, we won battles. Do you see the difference?
I disagree with that. The only thing I think about is a guy helped you. There's a difference between being a mayor. Like I'm sure when you see a mayor, like, dude, you're a mayor, right? There's a difference between being a mayor or Congress or Senate or governor of Florida, California, New York, Texas. These are big states. You're running a country. You're not running a state. If you look at the data,
13th largest economy in the world.
That's right. But the point is that part. What do you say to the audience when they look at you and say, "Okay, so Governor, I love your policies. I'm very happy. I'd love, for you to be a president. I think you have a lot of great qualities of being a president. You're a family guy. You're this, you're that.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you say to the faction that says, but the guy gave you an opportunity to be a governor. How about show loyalty to that guy? What do you say to those people?
How's it showing loyalty when he attacks me 3 days before my reelection? I had never done anything to him.
I don't know that was the right approach. So the question, PBD is not claiming. He's not making the claim. He's addressing the fact that the claim is out there. And Ron immediately goes onto the defensive and answers a question with a defense. Answers a question with a question. This is interesting.
Not the president. I think you have a lot of great qualities of being a president. You're a family guy. You're this, you're that. But what do you say to the faction that says, but the guy gave you an opportunity to be a governor. How about show loyalty to that guy? So
again, PBD is not saying, hey, Ron, I'm asking you why you don't. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying there are people out there who think this thing. What do you say to them? Well, how is it that? Ron defensive. Oh my God. Ron defensive. I think that's the winner. Ron defensive. It's too easy. It rolls off the tongue like butter. Either way. Either way. Perfect. CG said he hit me first. Doesn't work on the playground. It's whoever got knocked out. Facts. Let's hear this one more time.
To the audience when they look at you and say, okay, so Governor, I love your policies. I'm very happy. I'd love, for you to be a president. I think you have a lot of great qualities of being a president. You're a family guy. You're this, you're that. But what do you say to the faction that says, but the guy gave you an opportunity to be a governor. How about show loyalty to that guy? What do you say to those people?
How's it showing loyalty when he attacks me 3 days before my reelection? I had never done anything to him. Even all the Fauci stuff, I kept that private.
That 3 days before, how much prior to that did you and him communicate? Were you guys regularly communicating?
Good question.
Or not really?
I don't really remember, but I mean, at that point, that was kind of a line in the sand. Like, okay, all right, that's what and I have no problem with politics. It is what it is. But we were trying to engineer a red wave around this country, and to not saddle up and be a team player in that situation to do it, that was wrong. Honestly, we set a record here for what we did. So it either didn't affect or was even helpful in hindsight.
Suzanne says Kristi Noem has remained a firm supporter of Trump and America First. She fully reopened her state after the first 2 weeks and was loudly against COVID policies. Trump supports her. It's you, Ronnie. Apparently.
We did. So it either didn't affect or was even helpful in hindsight. But that's just the reality. So you can go and do that to other candidates, and somehow that's not supposed to change anything. The reality is he did that because he cared more about himself than he did about the greater good. The greater good was clearly, I win re-election in Florida, we win supermajorities, and we continue to implement the agenda. That's the greater good from a conservative perspective. There's no reason you should have been out there taking pot shots at me or anybody in Florida. And of course, he's trashed Florida repeatedly over the last year. He gets on social media. He said Cuomo did better in New York.
I've heard all of that.
And that was
nonsense.
But that
doesn't make any sense.
But I wasn't a candidate when he was doing that.
Right.
He was doing that on his own because he was upset that I did well.
Yeah.
So it's all about him.
Yeah.
So He says Newsom did better. He said Cuomo did better. Now his whole family moved to Florida under my governorship, but put that aside. He has used very left-wing media sources to say crazy things about Florida.
Yeah.
So that's what he's done. So what is that? He's not held accountable for anything. I mean, there's a strain of people that he can go out and say whatever he wants, and somehow that's fine. And then you say anything, then all of a sudden, no, that's not the way it works. You put
Actually, Ron, that is the way it works. Why? Because that's the way it plays out. It isn't fair. It isn't equal, but that is the way it works. You just explained that is how it works. So you can't say, well, that's not how it works. It worked like that, homie. Sorry.
big boy pants on. You're held accountable for your conduct. He chose to make those statements, and that's fine, but those are false statements.
If you believe that you would have won 34,000 without those three tweets, or without him endorsing you and him bringing you up, and he's like, look at him, he's feeling your shoulders. I remember that scene where it's like, look at this guy, he's like a strong guy. If you believe you would have won without him, fair. But to the voter that thinks that gave you the tipping point to win, different story. They're like, listen, you got to give this guy a little bit. He's the reason why you won the first time as governor.
Okay.
Now, I disagree with that statement. I disagree with, okay, if you're going to admit that he helped you, that now you owe him this, that, and the other. If you're both in the same position of fighting for president, then no, I disagree that you owe him this, that, or the other. If he's going after you first, fine. I'm with Ron there. The defensiveness. It's, hey, I wish he would have been, a little bit nicer. I thought we were on the same team. I was trying to move this country forward, but he wanted to get into personal spats, and I chose to go a different way. Yeah. This isn't that hard, bro. This isn't that hard. I swear I'm not this good at this. I swear I didn't sit down and write notes on what I'm going to give a better answer. I'm going to pretend that I didn't see it, and then I'm going to seem like I'm smarter than Ron DeSantis. I'm just sitting here. I'm just listening to the questions while I got seven other things going on. This is your life. You are trying to run for president. Why am I better at this than you? I don't get it. Bailey says you can't play politics while admitting to playing politics. He's giving the game up right now. Exactly. You can't act like it's okay to lie because you're going to lie. You can't act like you're doing favors is wrong because you're going to be doing favors. This is politics. Exactly right, Bailey. Shout out to Unwanted Foes and Righow. Ron going his own way. Yeah, more like Ron going the home way. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.